Hello, everybody. My name is Joe Petruska, and I'm going to show you a little bit about a program called CCleaner. Now, CCleaner comes in two varieties. There's a 32-bit version and a 64-bit version. For my purposes, I'm actually going to be using the 64-bit version because currently I am running Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit with a Core 2 CPU, 5 gigabytes of RAM. This is something nice that CCleaner will actually show you the specs of your computer that you're running on at that time. So, when you first load the interface, you do get a couple of options: Cleaner, Registry, Tools, Options. The first option I'd like to show you is actually the Cleaner option. Now, when you go through the Cleaner option, what it's going to do, it's going to look for temporary files, recent documents, empty system folders. You can basically set it to look for all kinds of different things. Windows log files, whatnot. And the nice thing about CCleaner is it does actually have an option where you can choose certain applications. So like in my case, I have Firefox installed, Google Chrome, and it'll actually allow me to look for the cache, the history, the cookies, and it could, if I'd like it to, remove those files. So the first time I ran this, it actually took me about 4 minutes. So in the interest of saving time, I have run it ahead of time. But to use it, you would actually just hit Analyze. And then it's going to tell you everything that is on your system. So in my case, I have approximately 26 gigabytes of stuff that it would like to remove. So it looks like I have a lot in the recycle bin, temporary files, my internet cache for Google Chrome. If you'd like to go ahead and remove these settings, or these files, you can just hit Run Cleaner. For my purposes right now, with it being so close to the end of the semester, I'm actually not going to run this because I'm really not sure what I've deleted, and if it turns out that I need anything, I think I'm going to wait a week or two before I go and do a full cleaning. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel this. The next option I'd like to show you is actually the registry option. So the registry option gives you, just like the cleaner, gives you certain things that you can customize. You can have it look for missing shared DIL files, broken fonts, help files, cache files. I do want to give you a word of warning when it comes to playing around with your registry. You want to be very, very, very careful what you remove, just because your registry is basically an index where your computer keeps information for currently installed programs. And sometimes you might not know what it is, but you'll think, oh, it's fine, let me just go ahead and uninstall this or remove this entry from my registry. But in a lot of cases, the programs will actually stop working. In more extreme cases, Windows will actually fail to boot. So you want to be very, very careful about what you actually remove with CCleaner from your registry. But to use it, you would just do scan for issues, similarly to the cleaner option. The registry, it does seem to go a little bit faster than the cleaner option. So you can see that we have, let's see, missing shared DLL, unused file extensions, installer reference errors. So at this point, if you'd like to fix these, you would hit Fix Selected Issues. Now, it's going to ask you if you'd like to make a backup of your registry. I would highly, 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 highly recommend this. Because if for some reason you do remove something and it turns out that you actually need it, you will have a backup of your registry to restore. So I just go ahead and hit yes. For now, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. After you've made your backup, you are presented with this screen here, and this is the Fix Issue screen. Now you can choose to select and fix each issue individually. You can actually scroll through them using the arrow keys. Or you can hit Fix All Selected Issues. I would not recommend hitting Fix All Selected Issues because if you do have any problems or you do fix something that shouldn't get fixed, your applications might not load, your Windows installation might fail to boot. So at the current time, I'm actually going to hold off on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit close right now. The next option I'm going to show you is the Tools option. So if you come over and you select Tools, you do get a couple of nice little tools here. We have Uninstall, Startup, which is very close to the msconfig if you were to run that, System Restore, which will actually allow you to manage your system restore points if you'd like to delete any of them. Sometimes restore points can be quite large, and it could take up a lot of hard drive space. And then we also have a feature called Drive Wiper. Drive Wiper is very cool because this will actually allow you to erase entire disks or certain partitions, and you can choose to wipe only the free space, or you can wipe the entire drive. Now also you have a couple of security options. Generally you could use 1Pass for data that you're not overly paranoid about, because it'll just put zeros right over it. It'll make it disappear. Now if you want to do a more advanced write, they have the DoD, which is the Department of Defense write, which is 3 passes with zeros, the NSA write, which is 7 passes with zeros, and if you really want to make sure it's gone, they have the Gutman write, which is actually 35 passes with zeros. Depending on the size of the drive, this could take a very, very long time. So I would not use this on, say, a 2 terabyte hard drive because you'll be here for hours and hours, or more likely days. Now we're going to go ahead and just look at the uninstall option. There is a piece of software currently on my computer that I would like to uninstall, and this uninstall feature is very similar to the Windows control panel option, where you are presented with all the applications installed on your computer and what you can do with them. I'm looking to uninstall Jing. So right now I can either run the uninstaller, I can rename the entry to something else, or I can delete the entry. Deleting the entry will remove it from your uninstaller options, but it will not actually remove the program. So at this time I'm going to do run uninstaller. It says, are you sure you want to uninstall the product? Yes. And we wait. It won't let me install it because it's still running. So at this point I'm just going to cancel it. The startup option, though, is very close to msconfig, as I mentioned previously, and this will actually allow you to pick which programs start up when your computer starts up. Personally, I don't really use msconfig. I use a program called Startup to Layer because I do have quite a number of applications loaded startup. So the nice thing about Startup to Layer is it'll actually let me set in timed increments which programs start up. So I really don't have that much in my startup options. You do want to be very careful with what you touch in this as well, because it will allow you to disable the entry or actually delete the entry. So some people, if they are really not sure what they're doing, they'll go ahead and they'll just remove all the entries because their friend told them by removing programs at startup they'll make their computer 10 times faster. But on occasion, they'll actually remove programs that are vital for other programs to run, so that will cause problems. So you just want to be very careful about what you actually uninstall or disable. So right now I'm not going to disable anything. So the next option would be System Restore, but again I have actually disabled System Restore on my machine because I do not find it useful. But if you did run System Restore, you would see all your restore points and you could remove them to free up space on your hard drive. So now let's take a look at the options. Options has very general options. You can select the language, you can select to run CCleaner at startup, you can add the run CCleaner option to the recycle bin to do a secure erase on your recycle bin. You can add open CCleaner option to the recycle bin context menu to automatically open CCleaner. You can check for updates. We're running the portable version right now, so I'm going to not touch any of these settings because a lot of times, like for example, the run CCleaner at startup will put an entry into your startup options, so the program will start when the computer turns on. Now, one option that's kind of cool, the cleaner option does have a bunch of cookie scanners. So if there's certain websites that you visit frequently, like Google or Windows Mail or Yahoo Mail, you can actually make it so the cookies are not removed by CCleaner, so you don't need to remember your 35-digit password. And that's fully customizable. You can add, you can subtract. One other cool feature is the include feature. This would actually allow you to add a folder that you would like to remove. So if you have, say, your downloads going to a different temporary file and you don't want to keep them forever, you can just add your downloads folder by browsing to it. I'm not going to do it in this case, but you can add it. And then when you run CCleaner, it will actually remove this folder when it does the cleaning. And similarly to the include, there is also an exclude. So if there's a folder that CCleaner you do not want CCleaner to touch, you can put it in the exclude option. The last option is the advanced. The advanced just has a couple of things. So it allows you to show initial results in detailed view, only delete files when Windows temp files are older than 24 hours. You can hide warning messages, close program after cleaning. You can enable it, you can minimize it to the system tray. These are things that generally in a portable version of a piece of software you wouldn't touch because they make different entries into your registry potentially. I think with this version of CCleaner, though, there is an INI file. Yeah, there is. That actually will store all your settings. So you could go ahead and play with these if you'd like. But for my purposes right now, I'm actually not going to do that. Now, the last option you do have is to check for updates, which will bring you to the CCleaner website and will allow you to install a new version of CCleaner. So that pretty much wraps up CCleaner. I'm just going to take us back to the cleaner option. And that's it. Thanks for watching.